0 of 20 Alonzo Adams, Associated Press. After 11 months of evaluations, conversations with scouts and coaches and endless nights on the road or at games, our staff is finally ready to answer the burning questions surrounding the 2019 NFL Draft. Who is the best overall player? How about the best at each position? The goal of the NFL Draft 400 series is to figure that out. The top 400 players were tracked, scouted, graded and ranked, with help from scouting assistants Marshal Miller and Jerod Brown. Together, we viewed tape of a minimum of 3 games per player, the same standard NFL teams use. Oftentimes, we saw every play from a prospect over the last 2 years. That led to the grades, rankings and scouting reports you see here. Players were graded on strengths and weaknesses, with a pro-player comparison added to match the prospect's style or fit in the pros. The top 400 players will be broken down by position for easy viewing before the release of a top 400 big board prior to the draft, which begins April 25 in Nashville, Tennessee. In case of a tie, players were ranked based on their overall grades in our top 400.1 of 20. Michael Conroy, Associated Press. At the end of each scouting report, you'll see a final grade that falls somewhere between 4.00 and 9.00. This skill comes from the teaching I received from Charlie Casserly, Michael Lombardi and other former or current front office personnel in the NFL. This applies to all positions across the board. Matt Miller's NFL Draft Grading Scale, grade label 9.00 Elite, no. 1 pick 8.00 to 8.99 All-Pro, Rare Talent 7.50 to 7.99 Round 1, Pro Bowl Potential 7.00 to 7.49 Round 1, Top 15 Player Potential 6.50 to 6.99 Round 2, Rookie Impact Future Starter 6.00 to 6.49 Round 3, Rookie Impact Future Starter 5.80 to 5.99 Round 3 to 4, Future Starter 5.70 to 5.79 Round 4, Backup Caliber 5.60 to 5.69 Round 5, Backup Caliber 5.30 to 5.59 Round 6, Backup Caliber 5.10 to 5.25 Round 7, Backup Caliber 5.00 Priority Free Agent 4.50 to 4.99 Camp Player 2 of 20 Darren Cummings, Associated Press. Strengths, 4-year starter at Washington in a pro-style offense. Completed better than 62% of his passes in all 4 seasons, above average pocket mobility and showed athleticism by running 4.74 at the combine. Able to keep his head up and not worry about the pass rush when the pocket collapses. Weaknesses: arm strength is subpar, bulk 6 feet 2 inches, 211 pounds, and durability could be a concern. Had injury issues with his shoulder at Washington, processing speed seems slow. He can get through his reads but is late on throws and misses open receivers because of it. Also, lacks the arm strength to make up for processing speed. May have peaked in 2016 before getting shoulder surgery in January 2017. Overall, Jackie Browning has been a household name in Washington the last 4 years after being named the starting quarterback for the Huskies in his freshman season. But many Huskies fans will tell you that Browning has not been the same quarterback after suffering multiple shoulder injuries and losing John Ross to the NFL. Browning lacks the arm talent to play in the NFL but has a great football mind and will look to compete in an NFL training camp. Grade 4.99 Camp Player Pro Comparison, Kellen Moore 3 of 20 Rogelio V. Solis, Associated Press. Strengths: a gifted and powerful runner at the quarterback position. Is the all-time SEC leading rusher for quarterbacks. Has the ideal body, 6 feet 5 inches, 226 pounds, and arm strength for the NFL, good throwing motion and above-average footwork out of the shotgun-based defense. Can move to his left or right and complete the tough throws with good velocity. Would be an ideal fit for any team looking for a Taysom Hill-type package. Weaknesses: was asked at the combine to work out at tight end. Since he is entering the draft as a quarterback, that is a weakness in this scouting report. Completion percentages were atrocious for the Bulldogs. Poor decision-making and throws led to interceptions and incompletions. Accuracy is a huge concern. especially when there isn't much to clean up mechanically. Suspended for violation of team rules for the first game of the 2018 season. That's a tough look for a senior quarterback to start the season. Overall, Fitzgerald was a nightmare to defend at Mississippi State with the quarterback RPO, and Taysom Hill might have created a spot for Fitzgerald in the NFL. Sadly, he just doesn't have the accuracy to be a reliable quarterback. However, a team drafting late may want to take a look at him as an offensive weapon and special teams player, a la Hill. The athletic ability is there, and teams have already requested to see him at tight end. Grade, 4.99, Chem Player, Pro Comparison, Taysom Hill 4 of 2 OLM Otero, Associated Press Strengths, 2-year captain with athletic traits and arm talent that pop off the screen, big arm strength that allows him to easily reach any level of the field, can throw in rain, snow or wind without issue and can cut through the elements with his velocity, quick enough to get outside the pocket and make throws on the move, has the arm strength to power throws on the run and has the athleticism to launch the ball off multiple platforms, can tuck and run with good production as a ball carrier, isn't afraid of contact and often ran QB delays and keepers up the middle of the field. Weaknesses, not battle-tested against NFL talent and saw very little elite competition challenging him. One-read quarterback who rarely works to second or third progressions, accuracy is all over the place, comeback and timing routes aren't thrown with anticipation and will too often wait for the open man, doesn't hold safeties with his eyes and too often telegraphs his passes, follow through and lower body mechanics get sloppy when pressured. Overall, Christian is a nice-looking athlete with a big arm and good running skills. What he lacks are the instincts and nuances of the position. While he was impressive at South Dakota State, Christian didn't take over the FCS level and struggled down the stretch. He's worth taking a risk on as a priority free agent with developmental skills. Grade, 5.00, Priority Free Agent, Pro Comparison, Jeff Driscoll 5 of 20 Michael Conroy, Associated Press Strengths, coach's son type player on the field and actually the son of New York Giants football coach, Pat Shurmur. Can hold defenders with vision as well as good play-action motion. Able to take care of the ball and knows when to eat a sock or throw the ball away. Works through his progressions and is undeterred by defensive pressure. Weaknesses, slow delivery and needs to clean up the motion. Pats the ball before throwing and holds the ball around his waist. Limited pocket mobility, really showed against Georgia. Average arm talent, in the SEC. Lacks follow-through in footwork and arm motion, which leads to poor velocity and ball placement. Overall, it's no secret Kyle is the son of Pat Shurmur, and if he sees action in the NFL, then that is all anyone will talk about. But he is also ahead of the game in terms of off-field preparation and leading a team. Which is why he took over the starting job at Vanderbilt so early. The offensive line at Vandy didn't do Shurmur any favors in his time there, and I feel it may have developed some bad habits with him floating away from throws. He'll need to correct that through the draft process in hopes of hearing his name called on day 3 of the draft. Grade, 5.00, Priority Free Agent, Pro Comparison, CJ. Beathard 6 of 2 AJ Mast, Associated Press Strengths, phenomenal leader and teammate at Penn State, can escape the pocket and make throws on the run. Quick footwork and throwing motion. Able to complete passes with rushers in his face. Shows good ball velocity on short and intermediate throws. Tough, physical quarterback who plays with a chip on his shoulder and has been successful at every level. Weaknesses, lacks size and bulk for the NFL, 6 feet, 0 inches, 202 pounds. Durability may be a concern even though he's tough as nails. Limited arm strength. Kept most of his throws in the middle of the field, and deep throws were not a real option for his skill set. Batted balls have been an issue despite mobility. Accuracy concerns were evident during his senior year. NFL teams have asked him to work out at defensive back and wide receiver. Overall, when Saquon Barkley was at Penn State, Trace McSorley looked like a completely different player. Many scouts were eager to see McSorley in 2018 after an impressive 2017 campaign. However, McSorley was not able to create with the same style and production in his senior year. The mobile quarterback was another candidate to work out at other positions at the Combine, but declined to do so. Grade, 5.00, Priority Free Agent, Pro Comparison, Case Keenum 7 of 20 Rogelio v. Solis, Associated Press. Strengths, dual threat quarterback in college with the athletic ability to translate to the NFL, throws the ball to all three levels with good velocity and touch, makes throws on the run look effortless. Quick release leads to hitting open receivers before defenders can recover. Weaknesses, a very talented group of receivers were able to bail out some poor throws. Gets rattled by early hits and blitzes, played in an offense that required little pre-snap reads or working through progressions, inconsistent arm going deep. Leaves deep balls short or overthrows too often. Overall, Ta'amu and Mariota are both from Hawaii, but that has nothing to do with the comp. Both quarterbacks are athletes with enough arm talent to make you nervous as a defender. Ta'amu has enough traits for a team to take a flyer on him in the draft. If he plans to stay on a roster, he will need to work on his game between the ears and in the quarterback's room. Defenses in the SEC were able to give him trouble with simple coverage disguises and blitzes. Too often Ta'amu is slow to get the ball out of his hand or throws into coverage. NFL corners and rushers will eat him alive if he shows those delays at the next level. Grade, 5.00, Priority Free Agent, Pro Comparison, Marcus Mariota 8 of 20 John Locker, Associated Press. Strengths, 2-year starter with a live arm to reach every part of the field and good athleticism to bounce out of the pocket when pressured, productive runner when asked to pull down the ball and run. Ideal for quarterback zone plays, swaggy passer who trusts his arm and trusts his receivers. Will put the ball up and let his guys battle for it, quick strike motion and good follow-through and release, draft and develop type who can take over a game with his arm or legs. Weaknesses, very thin frame, 6 feet 3 inches, 200 pounds, that is an immediate concern, even when projecting he'll naturally age and add bulk, holds the ball far too long trying to wait for a huge play instead of taking throwaways, eyes get caught dropping to pass rushers, and he panics when under pressure. One read then run type quarterback, developmental prospect who needs to bulk up, add strength and work to develop his keys as a passer. Overall tricks-based quarterback prospect who has a live arm, good running skills and upside if his mental game can be developed. Wilkins needs to add strength and size, but teams should bet on his tools enough to consider him late in the draft. Grade, 5.30, Round 6 Backup Caliber, Pro Comparison, Taylor Heineke 9 of 20 Michael Conroy, Associated Press. Strengths, has all the intangibles teams want in an NFL quarterback. Great mover on designed runs and out of the pocket, 3-year starter and captain in a winning program with an NFL-style offense, throws a pretty deep ball and puts enough air under it to let receivers run under it, stepped up in the biggest moments and played exceptionally in pressure situations. Weaknesses, level of competition will always be a question mark coming from the FCS. Also struggled in Shrine Bowl practices. Arm talent is average at best for strength and accuracy. At times he focuses on the pass rush and not what is happening downfield. The offense produced a lot of wide-open receivers to throw to. Overall, everyone has rooted for Easton Stick since he took over for the injured Carson Wentz in 2016. His coaches and teammates rave about his work ethic on and off the field, as well as his football IQ. However, Stick will have to keep working to overcome average arm talent in the NFL. Many of the questions surrounding his game could have been answered at the Shrine game, but Stick had a rough week of practice against tougher competition. Grade, 5.30, Round 6 Backup Caliber, Pro Comparison, Josh Dobbs 10 of 20 Michael Conroy, Associated Press. Strengths, has a quick drop that allows him to get back and see the field. Cerebral QB who can use his eyes, play action and pre-snap reads to get receivers open, takes care of the football. Never threw double-digit interceptions as a 4-year starter. Only 29 interceptions in 1,617 passing attempts. Shows good accuracy and touch all over the field. NFL bloodlines as former Super Bowl winner Mark Rippon's nephew. Weaknesses, undersized, 6 feet 2 inches, 210 pounds, and unathletic. too easy to bring down, interceptions were limited, but fumbles were an issue that could be exploited in the NFL. Arm strength is subpar for the NFL. Struggle to throw to the outside at the next level, struggles when plays break down and reads are not open. Overall Rypien was a His play on the field has always been solid but never impressive. The football pedigree and IQ are there, but he will have to overcome the physical aspects of his game to stick on an NFL roster. Grade, 5.40, Round 6 Backup Caliber, Pro Comparison, Danny Etling 11 of 20 Michael Conroy, Associated Press Strengths, Fiery, passionate leader who took the long way to Washington State after starting his career at Northwest Mississippi Community College and then signing at East Carolina where he was a backup for 2 seasons, went from a forgotten graduate transfer to Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year, loved by teammates and coaches for his fiery leadership and charisma. One scout called him a Baker Mayfield-like dude, accurate passer on underneath and timing routes, throws with good awareness and doesn't make his receivers reach for the ball. Has enough athleticism to make plays on the move, will scramble and can be effective on rollouts. Incredibly tough and isn't afraid to take a shot to make a play, has a natural feel for where to throw the ball and makes plays that leave you shaking your head, drops it in a bucket down the field and has excellent instincts for where to attack the defense. Weaknesses: one-year wonder who dominated statistically in the most quarterback-friendly scheme in the nation, average to below average arm strength, shows up when asked to put the ball on a rope and hit targets in stride, short, 6 feet, 1 inch, stocky frame is below what the NFL wants from quarterbacks without elite athletic traits. Size leads to many passes knocked down at the line of scrimmage, short hops, some passes that come up short from the intended target, doesn't always drive throws with his lower body and lacks true arm strength to hit 20-yard comebacks or crossing routes, played in a scheme that didn't ask him to make full field reads. Overall Minshew is one of the most fun players to watch in the 2019 draft class, but he has athletic limitations that will give teams hesitation. He's a great leader with obvious charisma and high confidence. Anyone rocking a mustache and jorts is dripping with it, that resonates well with teammates and coaches alike. Minshew might top out as a backup, but he's the type of player everyone wants on their team. Grade, 5.50, Round 6 Backup Caliber, Pro Comparison, Brian Hoyer 12 of 20 Darren Cummings, Associated Press Strengths, 3-year starter with continual improvement as a passer during his time at NC State, mature, developed quarterback who uses his eyes and shoulders to bait and hold safeties, understands small nuances of the game and shows that he's familiar with the tricks of the trade, asked to throw to a full route tree with advanced concepts down the field in terms of breaking and combo routes. Accuracy can be spot on with well-timed throws to all levels of the field and good touch on crossing routes to make the ball catchable and allow his receiver to make plays in space. Isn't a great athlete but moves well outside of the pocket and uses his momentum to fuel his rollouts. Weaknesses: tall, skinny frame, needs to add bulk and strength, especially in his lower body. Struggled to impress with physical traits at the Senior Bowl and often looked like the lowest ranked quarterback on the field in mobile, robotic quarterback who is at his best only when things are clean around him. Struggles to work off rhythm or throw off platform. Never took over in terms of production and only threw 61 touchdowns in 4 seasons. Accuracy and arm strength limitations showed up often in tight windows, especially the red zone. While some evaluators, particularly those in the media, seem to think Finley can become a starting NFL quarterback. We don't see that. His limited arm strength, poor lower body power and struggles to produce in the red zone leave Finley looking like a career backup. Grade, 5.69, Round 5 Backup Caliber, Pro Comparison, Mike Glennon 13 of 20 Michael Conroy, Associated Press Strengths, 4-year starter at Northwestern who displayed toughness, football IQ and competitiveness in an offense without great supporting talent, looks the part with a 6 feet 4 inches, 222-pound frame and NFL mechanics in his arm motion and lower body, quick from under center and has a pro-style drop step with a wide base and agile feet, solid motion with an over-the-top release and clean follow-through, good spot accuracy with the touch to reach downfield targets and give them ample running room, productive runner who was able to pull down the ball and run in scores throughout his career. Weaknesses: tore his ACL in 2017 Music City Bowl. Field vision is erratic and can get locked onto one player and struggle to work to second and third reads. struggled to develop during final 2 seasons at Northwestern and is continually praised for potential and upside, with much of the blame falling on his line or wide receivers, holds the ball far too long in the pocket and thinks his arm and agility can bail him out of messes. Arm talent is just okay for an NFL starter and puts him more on the level of a backup. Overall, Thorson definitely looks the part on the hoof, and there is some value in the argument that his supporting cast wasn't great. Still, teams can't gamble on his physical tools and the idea that he'll produce once he has better receivers and offensive linemen around him. Thorson could be the breakout, surprise quarterback of the class, but it's more likely he'll be a solid QB2 in the pros. Grade, 5.70, round 4 backup caliber, pro comparison, AJ McCarron 14 of 20. Darren Cummings, Associated Press strengths, mature leader who has grown and learned from mistakes that led to dismissal from Florida. Went toe-to-toe with Kyler Murray and the Oklahoma defense in 2018, showing his ability to play big in big games. Puts good air and touch on his deep balls so that receivers can make plays. Can also reach back for a little more velocity when needed. Moves well in the pocket and doesn't evade too early. Will stay in and take his licks. Weaknesses: inflated production in the high-powered West Virginia offense. Many teams will want to question pre-snap reads with him on the board. Slow elongated motion allows defenders to jump routes. Tries to fit the ball in tight windows but lacks the arm talent. Had a poor showing at the Senior Bowl and the Combine before turning in a good pro day. Overall, while Greer has a gunslinger's mindset with a game manager's tools. And that does not mean he won't be a successful starter in the NFL. But he will have to take fewer chances at the next level and learn how to play within his skill set. He brings a maturity and eagerness to prepare that most quarterbacks will not have as rookies, and he would be best suited as a round 3 or 4 guy who can sit and develop while providing solid spot starts in his career. Grade, 5.90, round 4 backup caliber, pro comparison, Case Keenum 15 of 20. Darren Cummings, Associated Press strengths, immediately has one of the strongest arms in the NFL with jaw-dropping velocity and distance power, phenomenal showing at NFL Combine, running a 4.59-second 40-yard dash at 6 feet 7 inches, 249 pounds, showed off his wheels during the 2018 season with 7 rushing touchdowns. He is able to move well laterally, especially working to his right, and can throw on the go and throw off balance, keeps defenses panicking with the mixture of arm strength and mobility. Safeties have to worry about him pulling the ball down and running, but also must respect his deep ball talent. Upside player who has the arm talent, mobility and toughness to continue growing as a quarterback once he's allowed to work on his craft full-time. Spent the offseason working with private QB coach Jordan Palmer, the first time in his life he had individualized training, and it showed off with a lights-out combine performance. Weaknesses: missed 4 games in 2017 due to knee injury, only topped a completion percentage of 60% once, 2017, 60.3%, and dropped to 55.2% in his final year at Buffalo. Just 1 season of serious production, 2018, and considered transferring before entering the 2019 draft class. Raw prospect who has some boom or bust potential depending on when he's drafted, loses his accuracy too often and lets go of the ball, and doesn't know where it will land, has to clean up his mechanics and arm slotting to better control the ball. Overall, Jackson isn't NFL ready, but if a team has the situation to draft and develop him, his raw tools could pan out. In an offense that values mobility and a big arm to stretch the field, like Bruce Arians with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jackson could thrive if given time to clean up his mechanics and better learn what playing quarterback at a high level means. Grade, 6.30, round 3 future starter, pro comparison, Nate Sudfeld 16 of 20. Butch Dill, Associated Press strengths, beautiful touch on the deep ball with ideal loft and the velocity to drop passes in a bucket, mobile in and out of the pocket. Can make throws rolling to both his left and right with good accuracy. Releases the ball quickly with a high release point to limit swats, has shown the ability to take over games and lead his team to victory, like he did against Alabama in 2017. Adequate but not amazing arm strength, can make field side throws with anticipation. well-built, compact player with enough agility and athleticism to get outside the pocket and make throws. Tough, no-bull quarterback who battled behind one of the nation's worst offensive lines in 2018. Weaknesses, 2017 and 2018 tape. Looked like two different quarterbacks, didn't take the next step in his development as expected, did not trust his linemen to pick up blitzes, which led to sacks, poor pre-snap reads and taking his eyes off his receivers. Puts himself in harm's way when scrambling and often tries to play the hero. Are his 2018 issues correctable, or will this be a David Carr-type problem going forward? Hesitates to unleash the ball, looked afraid to disappoint or fail as Auburn's season fell apart. Overall as a collective, we loved Stidham's 2017 tape. However, he looked like a completely different quarterback in 2018. In 2017, Stidham looked like a lock to be a first-round quarterback, but at times in 2018, he looked like a round 4 guy. Will the right coaches be able to restore Stidham and get his confidence and play back on track? If so, he has the talent to be a successful NFL quarterback. Grade, 6.75, Round 2 Future Starter, Pro Comparison, Derek Carr 17 of 20 Darren Cummings, Associated Press Strengths, 3-year starter at Duke under head coach David Cutcliffe. As a result, is one of the most pro-ready quarterbacks in this class, top-notch field vision to look off or hold ball-hawking safeties, throws the ball with great anticipation and touch. Good athlete with the ability to move in the pocket and to scramble out of it. Rushed for more than 180 yards against North Carolina, above average footwork, especially when working through his progression, bounces in the pocket and looks like Eli Manning in his mechanics and movements. Had more dropped passes than any quarterback we charted in the 2019 draft class, which makes his 60.5 completion percentage one that requires context, can move against pressure and won't get caught panicking or staring down blitzers, keeps his eyes up and has the poise to look for targets. Weaknesses, lacks arm strength. Too many defenders, defensive line and back seven, are able to get their hands on passes. Has a slow and short arm delivery. Needs more follow-through with his legs to generate power. Lanky build may lead to durability issues. He also injured his left collarbone last year but missed only 2 games. Makes too many chance throws into coverage rather than throwing the ball away. Struggled down the stretch after returning from a broken collarbone, completed at least 60% of his passes only once in his final 5 games. Overall, Daniel Jones gets credit for his well-coached mechanics, decision-making and his upside once surrounded by NFL-level talent, but evaluators must consider the negatives like his lack of arm strength, high number of passes batted down at the line due to his slow delivery and poor play strength. Jones is a smart, sound quarterback who could excel in an underneath passing game, and as a 3-year starter at Duke, he has the tools to come in and play immediately in the right system. Grade, 6.80, Round 2 Future Starter, Pro Comparison, Ryan Tannehill 18 of 20 Butch Dill, Associated Press Strengths, 3-year starter with big arm strength and a downfield gunslinger mentality, the best deep ball thrower in the 2019 draft class, with excellent power to launch the ball vertically and the touch to lead the receiver to daylight. Is more accurate throwing deep than he is short, shows excellent downfield anticipation, will let the ball fly before his receiver breaks or clears coverage and lets them make the play on it. Missouri offense demanded him to read the entire field post-snap, and he's showed the ability to hang in the pocket or move to get through progressions quickly, offers good pocket mobility with enough athleticism to pick up yardage as a runner, slides well within the pocket and will sprint out to evade pressure. Throws easily on the run, with the ability to adjust his arm angle to get the ball out, doesn't drop his eyes to the pass rush, whether